Hi, this is Eddie from Eddie's Pottery. What I'm doing is I'm doing a little refresher on the clay cutters. You know, what I did was I made a wooden structure that is it totals let me see here, these are 6 by 18. The ends are 6 inches long, the sides are 18 inches long. What I did was I popped a couple of nails in it real quick, and then I used like a drywall screw, so you know, on the ends, and that give it that extra strength so it wouldn't move around. Then I used a fishing line. I'm not playing no music. And now I've come up with a little bit better idea, and with these. Oh, by the way, I made, you know, half pounders, which were only 1 inch wide, and but the ones I've made here they're 1 pounders on one side, and then I made cuts on the other side of it. I didn't do it on these, but on this one here I did. And 2 inches, I measured to 2 inches, made my cuts. You can use either like a hacksaw to do it, but I prefer the fastest method. I use my a little jigsaw, and made each cut 1/8 of an inch deep on that 2 inch mark, all the way down it. Then I took and marked on the other side. The other side is 1.5 inches, which means it's 3/4 of a pound. So then since it's 1.5 inches, and I did the same thing all the way down each one. Now, when I decided to put screws in it, I put it, this one here is the 1.5 inches, which makes it the 3/4 pound one. I measured in between these two, put a dot. And well, first I drew a line down the middle, a perfect line down the middle of it, and put a screw in between each one, in between that 1.5 inches. On each and every one of these, I did it that way. Then, when I did the other side of this, I turn it around this way, because this one here is in between each of the 2 inch spaces, which is a 1 pounder. 3/4 a pound on one side, 1 pounder on the other side. So, and then I put a dot in between each of the 2 inch pieces there that I cut 1/8 of an inch deep. 1/8 of an inch deep on all of it. And I marked each and every one of these here. I started out finding the center of it, and then I would then go back half of that dimension to get, or 1 inch each way, you know. So, and then I drew a line going straight across this wooden square or rectangle that I made. That way I can use this single block or tool, I call it, you know, it's a clay cutter. By doing that, I will then put screws all the way down it. Now, I'll show you how I did it on this one here. I put screws all in between each of that's the 1 inch side. Well, wait a minute. This is the side I put it on. I put it on the 2 inch side on this one here. That makes it 1 pound. So I then put a screw let's go back on this side. I don't want to get messed up here. I put a screw in between here and here of the first one. Then I did the same thing all the way down. That way I know that it's going to be in between each one of the 1 pound marks that I made. Then on this other side, I couldn't do that on this other side. The reason being is this side here would then be used for the 3/4 pound. But the key is you have to use one screw in between each one of these 1.5 marks. And by doing that, then when I hook it up to one side, I loop it over and start like this one here. I looped it over, started, and then went here, went around this part right here, flipped it back over on this side and did it over here, went across the screw over here, back to this side, cut another piece of the monofilament that I have, and that monofilament's 106 inches. I'm going to cut another one, and then I'm going to see if I can use the exact same one on the other side. And if I can, then hey, I can just, if I want to cut 1 pounders, I can put it on that side. And if I don't want 1 pounders and I want 3/4 pound, then I'll use the other side. So, and I'll take it off of this here. I'll take it off of the 1 pound side, put it on the other side, and thread it back up, and then use it to cut a different size. That way, this tool is it's multi-use of what size weight I'm wanting to use it for. So, I then would take my sheet metal screws, like I said, and I would place one on each of the dots that I have. Wrong direction. Now, the key factor, this is the 1 pound size. Now, the key factor is you do not want to tighten it all the way down up against the wood. You're going to want to leave it roughly, and I say roughly, that's a loose term. I would keep it about roughly 1/8 of an inch out. I'll show you what size of sheet metal screw we got here. This size of sheet metal screw is it's called a number 10. It's 3/4 of an inch long, and it has a that's what it looks like. It's like it's got a little you could tighten it with a screwdriver, but hey, I use one of my little socket tools to put it on there, and then you know, hey, it saves me a lot of time on doing this. So let me get all this put back together, and I'll get all those screws put in there, and I'm gonna show you how I do that. Now, this right here, this monofilament, this is great. I mean, I went to a flea market. I went to a flea market in Florida. Now I want you to look at this. This roll was brand new when I got. Well, it was, let's say, used, not used, but it was new old stock. That's what they call that, new old stock. It's 80-pound test line. This is, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna last me a long time. And I paid $3 for this at a flea market. I love getting bargains. So at $3 is going to go a long way on me making these clay cutters. So what I do is I take it, loop it over about 2 inches or so, 2.5, and I take that and I will then, and this stuff is stiff, so it's kind of hard to work with. So I have got me I got a pencil, and got that pencil, and I just put it on there like so, and I could have used a screwdriver or some other object that's tougher than my fingers, and that way I tighten that knot down. Now on this first one, I'm going to try and put a second knot in there. That knot gets good and tight. I don't think I can break it with my hands. That's not 80-pound test line, not my hands at least. All right, so now you can see I've got that loop on there, I put a double knot on it, so threading it back and forth, and I need to get all these screws put in here. So I'm going to shut this off because I know you don't want to see me stick a bunch of screws in there. I need to back that one off just a touch. There we go. That one too. Now, alright, this was 1 pounder. I'm going to do a 3/4 of a pound. That's what, 8 and 4, that's 12 ounces. I'm going to do the 12-ounce size. So, okay, just hang on just a second. Now, I got all the screws in both sides of these, and not to bore you to death on that, also I need to show you that this does fit on the 1 pound size. So I'm going to thread it up. This here's actually, I modified this a little bit. I'm making it 108 inches instead of 106. So I pull it up tight, wrap it around, thread it. This goes over that one, and sometimes you will miss a screw every now and then. Now, it's hooked over all of it. You had to wind them up some to make sure this fits. This fits the 1 pound size now, so that way they're good, tight, and you can get you a tube of clay, slice it out. They all come out the same size when you use this. This is 2 inch, and that 2 inch is going to make you a 1 pound piece of clay. All right, now let's take this rascal back off. And I'll probably run this in a little faster motion so it doesn't bore the daylights out of you. No, it'll fit. There we go, there we go. Come on now. Get on there. And there we go. So you saw it. You saw the same piece of wire or fishing line on both sides, and that means that this is a multiple use on your cutting size. So hey, all I know is this is Eddie's Pottery. Thank you for watching, and good luck on making yours. So and I have made several of them. I mean, I just wanted to make sure that I could make 2 different sizes with the same one. I could have made 2 different wires too, I could have made one for one size, one for the other, but I did my best to try to calculate and figure out that it would fit. One wire would fit both sides. It can be done. So, but no, the wiser thing would probably be to make 2 different wires that way, but with only 1 cutter. So, thank you for watching, and I wish you luck on making yours. So, it'll help you. Bye for now.